All right, so first question up from the Peanuts is from Brad Scarp. And he said, why are many kilters more focused on historical accuracy over style? I had asked a question about what people thought of the idea of a Jacobite slash Highlander shirt with a vest a few weeks ago on, I think he means on the Facebook Kilts Culture group. So he asked about wearing that, and a majority of the responses were something along the lines of, I hate Highland shirts because they aren't historically accurate. So he's taking it from a general, like, why do people tend to rely on historical looks first, to maybe we can talk about that shirt specifically, but...
Yeah, and he was mixing it with contemporary.
A vest. I'm assuming a contemporary vest with a Highland shirt, which is, in case anybody out there doesn't know, that's like the poofy pirate shirt with the crisscross laces and the grommets.
Yeah.
So.
The people... Highland shirts are kind of a polarizing type thing. They are not traditional, meaning they are not historical. They're meant to look historical, but they're a bit costumey. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people, frankly, myself included, don't really dig on them. We sell them. People enjoy them. Some people do. Some people freaking hate them. Mm-hmm. So you're going to elicit a strong response, period, whenever you're going to talk about Highland shirts. I would actually go a slightly different direction with wearing a Highland shirt with a vest. I wouldn't do it, not because it's not historically accurate, but I wouldn't do it because you're mixing kind of looks. You're taking something that is either costume or period-esque, I won't say period, but period-esque or costumey or Ren Fairy or, outlandery, and you're mixing it with like either an Argyle or a tweed contemporary, jacket and vest or just vest. So to me, it doesn't work because of that. You're mixing styles that shouldn't be mixed. I'm not saying you can't do it, how dare you. I'm saying I don't think it would look good because it's just, I don't know. I had an example that I thought of for this, and I forget what my example was. Do you remember?
Nope.
Okay, then never mind. You're mixing things. Yeah, you're mixing things that wouldn't look good. Let's put it in contemporary, suit wearing kind of thing. If you were wearing a piratey shirt or a Highland shirt, would you wear it with a suit? Would you wear it with a vest?
Yeah.
And a pair of khakis or something like that? No, it would look weird. It doesn't fit together. It looks like you're trying to jam two different things together that don't want to go together.
I still say that comes down to like going with something that has very rounded, organic lines with something that has crisp lines. That's the problem in my book. I mean, I could see shirts kind of like a Highland shirt being mixed with 19th century stuff for like a steampunky, free-spirited, poetic kind of look.
Dark brooding.
Yeah.
Look into my soul.
Yeah, channeling your inner Byron. But
yes.
But it's not something that mixes well with a lot of modern stuff. With a kilt, we see a lot of people do this. I've seen a lot of people wear Highland shirts with vests, especially they just like they have an Argyle vest. They got the basic Kilt 101 kit, and they decided to put a vest on with it. So I don't think that particular combination looks great. I'm not a big fan of Highland shirts generally. I'd rather wear a banded collar shirt, or if you really want to go for that look, then get a good 18th century or early 19th century work shirt. Don't go with the crisscross grommety thing.
But lean into it altogether.
Yeah. I mean, but some people like it, and I would say that Highland shirts are kind of de facto traditional account now because they've been around for easily like 80 years.
I wouldn't say traditional. They're de facto part of the outfit or part of what is accepted.
No tradition like a new tradition. I would say they are part of Highland Dress now, even though they're not part of Highland Dress. Yeah, but anyhow, to the original point, wouldn't really recommend that look just from an aesthetic standpoint, basically. But but then Mac said something.
No, we have one question here that, so I figured you guys could elaborate a little bit on this. We have Dan asking, is a Highland shirt the same as a Ghillie shirt?
Yeah.
Yes. Is it? So just wanted to make sure.
Highland shirt, Ghillie shirt. Ghillie means laces. So Highland shirt,
technically
Ghillie
means
shirt.
worker, but
well, yes. And I would kind of draw other parallels of, at least we're ideologically consistent. I wouldn't wear, in mixing things that shouldn't be mixed, like I wouldn't wear a dress sporran with a casual kilt and a t-shirt to a festival. It's different horses for different courses. If you're going to be casually dressed in a kilt, great, do it, but wear the appropriate thing for the outfit. Or if you're going to be dressed up in a kilt, then dress up in the kilt and wear the appropriate accoutrement for that outfit.
Yeah. To the broader point, though, I think that we talk about this a fair amount, that basically a lot of men, at least in the United States, are raised with not having much of a sense of paying attention much to fashion or dressing well. So you decide to get into kilting and you don't have any prior experience with wearing a lot of formal dress or very tailored kind of clothing. Maybe once you get into an office job or something like that, if that's how your life goes, you learn about suits and stuff, but then you're looking at like GQ magazine and stuff like this because you got to have a guide for what to do, right? So when you get into Highland dress, it is a lot safer to go with the more traditional, standard, tested over time, tested over a lot of time, looks that we have in strict Highland dress than to get funky and creative with it. So I think a lot of guys will default to that because it's safe. And like I said, also because a lot of those looks, they haven't changed much in 100 years. So they are time tested. You know it's going to work. You know it's going to look right. You know you're not going to look like a fool or like you just started. You're going to look like you know what you're doing if you stick with those guidelines. And I think that's why a lot of guys will say, go for the traditional first. Don't do this. It's not traditional. Go with that. Because A, they love it, and B, they know it works. That's my take on it.
Yeah, and it goes back to you have to know the rules before you break them.
Yeah.
Maxim, where you should try to, in Highland wear you have to discover your own style, but just starting out throwing a bunch of things together and saying, is this it? Is that it? Is that it? In different outfits doesn't necessarily work. Or you're not going to hit a home run your first at bat. So you have to kind of look at what other people are doing, see what you like, what other people are doing, what you don't like, learn what the traditional elements of the outfit are, learn how to put things together. And then once you understand that, go, you know what? I'm going to break this specific rule because why not? It's fun. And then break it. But know that you're breaking a rule and then move forward accordingly.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. Now, that being said, if you're just starting out with this, all you really need is a basic kilt and a sporran and probably a belt, and you can be fine for casual wear. So don't let this feel like it's a roadblock or like you're going to be like, oh, I'm sorry. No, you're not allowed into the festival. That's not how it happens. But, if you get into it as an art form, that's kind of the tradition will be your guide, and then your creativity starts off as just like a little extra spice on it, and then you add more spice as your taste buds develop. I don't know. So much for that metaphor. I think there is an advantage the longer you get into this because it is like eating peanuts, we say. So you start collecting more bits and bobs, and then you have more stuff to play with. So you can get up in the morning and it's like, hey, you know what? That shirt really goes well with that. And that kilt pin, I don't wear that often, but it looks really cool. Hey, yeah, I'm going to do that. And you get to play more. So
I'm just thinking of a Celtic festival with like a metal detector at the beginning instead of a metal detector. It's just a,
what, a grommet detector?
The kilt police who are just like, no, you're not allowed in with that. Bouncers for Celtic festivals.
I swear though, we get accused of being kilt police sometimes. We're not. I would rather, catch more flies with honey and help guys get into it in whatever way is easiest for them. But yeah, there's a lot out there. So start with the tradition because it's a tried and true way to go, and then branch out as you're ready.
Yep, indeed.
Yes, Mac?
Now I'm picturing Rocky with like a bobby hat and a
there
little stick. Yeah,
he's a peeler. Rocky the peeler.
A little blackjack.
Yeah.
Right.
What's all this?
You there? What's all this in? Oi, bruv.
Why? Everybody who lives in the greater London area, please forgive us.
No, I don't want you to forget this.
You don't want to forget us? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. They're English.
Yeah. Hey, I'm part English.
I know.
Hey, look, I'm wearing something that you could argue is historically inspired. I'm doing the 1930s today, as it happens. Now, seriously, how do you parse doing something traditionally versus adding your own flair and style? Tell us in the comments. Regardless of how you like to wear the kilt, usakilts.com has a lot of different options to choose from so you can craft your perfect kilt outfit. Please check us out.